Guys, is this thing on?
Oh, shut up. Whatever.
Presenting the Dead I Overshare podcast.
Just say it.
What is up, besties? It is your host, Zoe, and I am back with another episode today on the Did I Overshare podcast. I hope you guys are doing well and you are happy. Life is doing good. It's finally getting warm outside, so I know I'm doing better. It's something about it I always did not. I always feel like I hated summer, and I don't know, living in North Carolina now, I am addicted to the sun. I don't know what it is. But if you are new here, hi. My name is Zoe. It is a crazy roller coaster you are about to jump on. But if you are not new, welcome. I appreciate you for always coming back to me and, staying locked in. Once again, I still have that funky cough going on. Still don't know what that's about. I need to start drinking more teas. So I feel like that's my own issue. But today's episode really came to me in the car. And the reason I didn't end up posting on Tuesday this week was because I just felt drawn to post today specifically, whether that be because of the lunar eclipse or, Mercury retrograde starting because, oh, girl, I feel it. But I don't know, I just felt called to film today, so that's what I'm doing. Today's episode is a little, I wouldn't say different, it's just more, I feel like it's a little more deeper and reflective on your own self and myself specifically. But so it's kind of, I'm stuck on the title still. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what the title is going to be when it comes out. But currently right now it's why do you fear yourself? And what I mean by this is, so I was listening to Garden by SZA. And a lyric she had said really stood out to me. I'm mid singing. And I repeated it to myself and I was like, interesting. And it was when she said, I hope you never find out who I really am because you'll never love me. Also, she has another lyric in Supermodel. And she says, I don't see why I can't stay alone by myself. I wish I was just comfortable just by myself. Right? And I feel like this caught my attention so bad because when you really think about it, I feel like a lot of us relate to this on a personal level. Why can't we be alone by ourselves? Or why does it make us so uncomfortable? And why when we do it, we get stressed out? Or we're too good at being alone by ourselves. We get stressed out when we're with other people. And it's we just take it in on ourselves. It's the, I'm reflecting back on that first lyric when she's like, I hope you never find out who I really am because you'll never love me. Why are we terrified to show the darkest parts of ourselves to the ones we love the most, right? Because I have this issue, and I'll talk about it a little later, but it's something I feel like a lot of us tend to not think about, and we just kind of push it to the side because it's why would we want to talk about that? But it's those darkest things within us, or those bad parts of our personality that we just don't want anyone to see, right? Whether that be anger, sadness, depression, or a disorder of some sort, like BPD, or, just anger issues, so many different things. We're kind of scared to show that. Why do we fear who we really are? Why do we fear our authentic selves? We don't truly and deeply ever really accept ourselves. But what is this for and why do we do it? And I feel like especially as women, nowadays it's way more acceptable in society to not show your true selves. Because I'll talk about now actually, is what are some ways we could get out of this? Shadow work, therapy, journaling, sitting with our feelings. Because it's different for everybody, and everybody has their different, I wouldn't say issues, but their own issues in your own mind, right? And like I said, it could be a strain from society, especially as women, where we're like, oh, I can't really portray myself this way, or I won't be as qualified, or I can't do this, or I'm not going to have this much success, I'm not going to meet friends, I'm not going to do this, and I'll be judged, yada, yada, yada. Which is 100% true. But it also comes from a point, I feel like, just within ourselves, I feel like we, especially me, I think I'm just so scared of judgment in a way, if that makes sense. But I want you to think about the mask you put on whenever you're around certain people that you claim you love or that love you, right? Why is there even a mask? And I want you to try to pinpoint what you're masking. Do you truly think you're that bad of a person? Like, if you had to sit here and, you were explaining yourself to someone who you've never met, or you're viewing yourself as, like, third person, right? Would you explain yourself as a bad person? Do you look at yourself like you're a bad person? Most of us, the answer will be no, right? We don't inherently think we're bad people, but we have those qualities where it's like we think other people would think we're bad, right? And that if they seen this side of us, they would hate us. They would dislike us. They would judge us. We have that aspect of it as well. But I'm going to be honest, they probably wouldn't, but some of them would. But I'll tell you that that doesn't go for every situation, of course. Some people have their own opinions, and we respect that sometimes. I'm just saying. But most of the time, we're our biggest critic, and we sabotage ourselves the most. We shouldn't want the person who should accept our dark parts and all. We don't want them to lie to us to keep us sane. And we don't want to lie to them to keep the relationship, because what I was saying is we wouldn't want to keep a relationship that isn't serving us in the fullest, right? With somebody who doesn't see us at the fullest capacity. We don't want to have a relationship with someone we have to teeter around and tiptoe around. Someone should be able to see the darkest parts of us and still be like, okay. But we should also, this more so, I feel like this episode really isn't about how other people view us. It's more so how we view ourselves. We should be able to sit here and be like, I love the darkest parts of me. I love the parts of me that are ugly, that nobody wants to see, that I don't want to see. But I love them and I accept them and I acknowledge them, right? Because further down the line, we end up in patterns, like I always talk about. And I've had it happen to me where I keep all the angry and vocal parts of me so quiet and tame. And then like 8 months into the friendship, it slips because I get so overwhelmed and they just bottle over. And now everyone's looking at me like I grew two heads and I'm the bad guy. And now the friendship ends. And it's really disheartening in my experience, because it's like that second I was myself, people left, but it's also like I didn't show myself from the jump, right? So like there's two ways to look at it. I still don't know where I'm at between that. I think you always need to be yourself up front, especially to avoid that. And if someone wants to stay, they'll stay. So I think my main question and my focus is why? Think to yourself, what is that so-called ugly part in you? Why do I hide it? Does it truly benefit me to hide it? Is this part I'm hiding truly a part of me and my personality? Like, personally for me, I don't think this applies to me, Chi, but more so everybody else in my life. I tend to hide my true emotions. A lot of shit bugs me, because honestly, a lot of shit should. And I've dealt with a lot of BS, and I shouldn't have, which in turn has, messed me over. Like, it's done me dirty. And I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not masking. So now that people are seeing that part of me that can get angry and will voice her opinions and concerns, even if it upsets them, I get viewed differently. Sometimes I'm seen as the wicked witch of the West, right? But I think it always catches people off guard how much internal anger I harbor. I am such an angry person inside, just because, and I have valid reasons to be. And little trigger warning for like suicide, depression, all that stuff. Which, like, yes, in turn, it's my fault. And it's something I'm working on. But when I have those moments and I slip, I feel so embarrassed. Like, so embarrassed. Because people, honestly, the way they look at me, it just makes me feel small. It makes me feel embarrassed. But it's also like I stick out like a sore thumb, right? Like, people look at me like I'm crazy. Or when I used to be, like, in the past, when I used to be so extroverted and happy on the outside years ago, but I was deeply depressed and suicidal and self-harming, and no one knew. It was fine. But then when people started finding out, it was like, what is wrong with her? It was just judgment on every scale, from grown adults to people my age to people younger than me, like all across the board for my family. And it just made me want to curl into a ball. It wasn't like they say, like, it wasn't like you can't get any help. Like, that's not what I'm saying. You can get help and not be judged. And I'm not saying people will always judge you. I'm just speaking from my own experience. Know this, but this is my personal experience because I hit it all, literally. So like I said, that does reflect on me as a person. I literally hit everything, but now I was being picked to pieces by my peers and my family, and some were telling me that I was doing too much. My life wasn't even that bad. And others were just judging me. So I think that also contributes so much to my internal anger now as an adult and as a woman itself. And it also comes from so many things that happened to me as a kid. But it's hard for me to show that part of me to people I love because I don't want to cast them away. I don't want them to look at me differently. I don't want to people to look at me like I am weak in a sense, or that I messed up, or something's wrong with me. And that's a part I just don't want to show myself to people. So I tend to just mask. Every single time I meet somebody, I mask. I mask, I mask, I mask because I don't want you to hate me. I don't want you to judge me. For me, I don't even want there to be a second where you look at me in an odd way, right? So when SZA said, I hope you never find out who I really am because you'll never love me, I think personally, I did feel that on a deep level with everyone because I don't even show my true self to my best friend and other close friends. I'm extremely composed. I try not to slip because I'm so terrified that I'll lose them or they'll judge me. So here we are. How do we reflect from this? And how do we learn from it? Like I said at the beginning, is it shadow work? Is it going in those deepest parts of you and reflecting on it and writing down, everything, doing a brain dump? Is it that? Is it journaling? Is it like, doing another brain dump in a different way and just writing all your thoughts down and then reflecting on them at a different time? Is it therapy for you? Is it talking to someone and, getting one-on-one advice? Or is it just laying it all out there and, just being you? Just kind of, ripping the Band-Aid off and just going for it. Letting people know what's going on. And for me, I don't know yet. I think slowly but surely, I am finding myself and I am allowing myself to be me, good or bad. And I am allowing myself to be open, right? Open to criticism with myself and from others. But I'm also like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I think I'm not in the mood to beat around the bush with anybody because I've took so many L's from doing that. Protecting other people's peace never protected mine. Ever. And I was talking about a situation yesterday and I was just like, interesting. I have spared everybody. Nobody has ever spared me. So it's like, why would I keep putting myself in cycles of pain? Why would I keep, doing this to myself over and over and over again? What, because I'm scared somebody's going to judge me? I'm scared somebody's going to leave my life? They leave my life, they weren't supposed to be in it. Because granted, we all have flaws, some of them darker than the others. But the people who love you will be there. And I say this, I feel like in every episode, even if it's a different topic. But it's something we really need to understand. But for me, I'm just trying. I'm trying to find my authentic self because I believe once I find her, I will find all of, my true self goals, self-love. I'll be more accepting of myself and more accepting of the flaws of other people. I think I'll be able to view like life in a different light. And, I don't know, the idea of being able to fully accept myself good and bad and not caring if other people accept me, it sounds very freeing in a way, because I think a lot of my anxiety comes from that as well, a lot of it. And I'm tired of living like that. I'm gonna be so honest. I am so tired of living like that. I'm so tired of it. Like I said, it's never benefited me, ever. And it will hurt in the process, and I know this because I've already started that process, and it's messy. It is a messy process, okay? It is very up and down all around. The feelings are everywhere. And so many people are negative. You got to realize misery loves company. Misery loves company. And you cannot feed into people. Like, I think my favorite, like, quote or, like, piece of advice is, do not take advice from people you do not want to be. So it's like, you got to realize these people casting judgment on you and, having all of these thoughts and these ideas, are they doing better than you, truly? Are they someone you want to be? I know for me, absolutely not. So why do I even care? And to hone it all back in on why I was talking about it and why I feel like SZA spoke out so much to me. So many of SZA's songs really just touched me in a way. Like, the whole Control album really did it for me. Like, years ago. But 20 somethings is real good, and like Guard and everything, and it just really makes you reflect on yourself, but it also just makes you very aware of some things you weren't aware of, because I really wasn't. I'm not going to say I wasn't aware of what I was doing, because I definitely was. Because I was definitely feeling the repercussions of it, right? But I didn't view it in that light. Like, I didn't, because if I said the same lyrics she did, it would make so much sense. Because, dang, that's how I view things. I'm not going to show you this part of me because you'll never love me. So when she said, lie to me and tell me my booty's getting bigger even when it ain't, yeah, like, I expected people to lie to me to protect my feelings. Why? Why? Why would I do that? And then I'd be so upset when someone didn't sugarcoat anything. And that's why it was always different with Michi. He does not hold back. He'll let you know. So I think I just related so deeply to those lyrics. And I hope you did too. I hope you understood my main message of this episode. I know it was a little short, but powerful nonetheless, in my opinion. I really loved this one, and I think it allows for a lot of introspection within yourself. Just a lot of deep thought. So yeah. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, leave a review, leave a rating. I love when you guys post on social media that you are listening to me, how you thought about the episode, all the above. Hope we have so many listeners in our future. And yeah, follow the Did I Overshare on Instagram and on TikTok. This episode will be up on YouTube, of course. And I love you guys so, so, so much. And I hope you have a good Mercury retrograde. Do not think before you speak, please. Think before you speak, because others are not. Think before you speak, because you do not want to get effed over, right? When it ends. So be safe out here. Embrace the sun. And yeah, I love you all so much. Thank you for everything.